How does a drummer come up with this unbelievable guitar series? I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music. You can order that brand new guitar-inspired album, Guitar Zeus, at CarmineAppice.net. It features Neil Schon, Ted Nugent, Steve Morris, Reggie Sambora, Brian May, Yngwie Malmsteen, Mick Mars, Slash, Edgar Winter, and a lot more.
What was the fruition of the idea? I mean, you just look around and say there's nobody doing this. I know these cats, let's do it.
No, it didn't happen like that. It happened like I was working with a band with Joe Lynn Turner, Jeff Watson, and Bob Daisley. And we were going to call our band Zeus, right? And then, I was talking to Jeff Watson. He had a solo deal. It came right out of Nightwing, and he got a solo deal. And I was trying to get a solo deal since my first album came out in '82. This is 10 years later. I still didn't have one. So I said, man, this is unbelievable. If the top player comes out of a band, they're handed a solo deal immediately. A drummer has to hassle to get a solo deal. I said, maybe I should be a guitar player. Maybe I should do a guitar album. I'll get some of my friends to play on it, some guitar gods. And I said, no, I'll call it Guitar Gods. No, I'll call it Guitar Zeus. That's what I'll call it. And I was kidding around, to the guys in the band. Then that night, I went to bed. And when you're laying in bed and your head is just like spinning around.
Yeah.
Your brain wouldn't shut off. I started thinking, that's a freaking good idea. To do a guitar album, a drummer doing a guitar album, and you can cross-market it. I can do interviews in guitar magazines and all that, and the drum magazines, and I thought it was a good idea. So then, as I went about my business, I ran into Brian May at a drum clinic and a guitar clinic in a music store in Rochester, New York. He was promoting something, I think a video, and I said, hey, Brian, if I knew him from the Rod days, we hung out quite a bit. So, Brian, if I do this guitar album, which features a lot of different guitar players, would you do a solo on the album? He said, oh, yeah, I'd love to, And I said, and then I'll owe you one. If you need me, I'll play on your album. He said, okay, great. So we left it at that. Then I ran into Ted Nugent. I did the same thing. He said he'd do it. Then I ran into the King's X guys, Doug and Ty, and they said they would do it because at the time in the early 90s, they were still hot. They were like, really the coolest musician band out there, And when the grunge was king, grunge was king, but they were sort of like in that vein, Then I was going to Japan in 1994, so we went to Japan with Jeff Watson to support his solo album. And then while I was there, I met some people that wanted to bring me back to Japan and do Carmine Appice Super Session Volume 2. So I did one in 1982. And we did well, so they said, okay, but this time Blue Murder released the first album, did well, great there, and the second album did great there. But I wasn't in the band anymore, neither was Tony Franklin. So we said, yeah, we'll do it. So we took a band over to Japan, and so I started realizing that there was a career happening in Japan while the U.S. was going grunge crazy, Then I ran it. So on that tour, I tried to get Doug Aldridge, who was in a band that was big in Japan at the time, to go with us. I couldn't go with it. He couldn't go with us. I had to deal with his manager. His manager was a guy named Warren Wyatt. So I told Warren, I said, hey, I got you on the phone. I'm trying to get a deal for this idea. What do you think? He said, great idea. I can get a deal. I said, you can? He was so confident about it. I believed him. And guess what? He did. He got the deal out of Japan. So in the interim, I played the gig with Kelly, and I realized he was a really talented guy. And then I went to meet with him, and he showed me all the different kinds of songs he writes. So I said, okay, this is my writing partner right here. And then first thing we did was get Ted Nugent and the King's X guys and Brian May on the record. Once we did that, it was like a domino effect. Other guitar players were calling, and anyone we asked, when they said, who else is on, I would say, Brian May, Ted Nugent, Doug Pennick, Ty Tabor, and then it was Yngwie called, Kelly did something with Yngwie. He wanted to do it, So little by little, I started gathering all these people to play on it. And once I tell them who's playing on it, it was like a domino effect. And eventually the first album had, like 12 or 13 big-name guitar players on it.
Remember, you can order Guitar Zeus at CarmineAppice.net. I'm John Bowden. I want to thank Carmine for spending about 45 minutes with me. It was a great conversation. I'm a drummer. I was very inspired by him. He's a straight shooter, and I love that in interviews. So tip of the hat to Carmine Appice. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music.